Greetings and salutations. Today I shall read for you Alkaya, The Legend of Empyro by Conrad McCain. Chapter 1, Jaypar and Bantam. It's common knowledge that there is more than one universe. In fact, a multiverse exists. Hold on a second. It's common knowledge that there is more than one universe. In fact, a multiverse exists where the worlds live seamlessly side by side. One of these worlds we know of is called Alkaya. All of the mythical creatures of fairy tales, fantasies, and legends exist in the Alkayan universe. It's a world of technology and magic mixed. Since this is a parallel world of Earth, the geography and the names of places are the same. You yourself have an alternate being in the world of Alkaya. When we dream, we're able to connect with our Alkayan selves and see the world through their eyes. That's why we may have strange abilities in our dreams, like being able to fly or breathe underwater. The main race of Alkaya is the elves. There are many subraces of elves, including Bumeril and winged elves, lunar elves, wood elves, mountain elves, ice elves, aquatic elves, high elves, drought elves, and sun elves. The elves of Alkaya used to be immortal until the original Alkayans departed from the planet after the Great War. The Alkayans took with them the technology that granted immortality to all human beings. Elves will still enjoy a long lifespan. Some are even capable of living almost a millennia. They reach physical maturity about at age 25 and emotional maturity around 100. Most elves are taller than normal humans, have slender, fit physiques. They have no body hair and facial hair. Male elves prefer to keep their hair long. Having long hair is a sign of wisdom and beauty. Only super masculine warrior elves have short hair. The other main races of Alkaya are the dwarves, gnomes, fairies, goblins, trolls, ogres, mutants, androids, the greys, and manimals. Manimals is the largest population of Alkaya. Most of the animals evolved into humanoid form, much like they say humans evolved from apes. Then there are those hybrids like mermaids, centaurs, satyrs, and hybrid animals like griffins and hippogriffs. There's also islands ruled by dinosaurs. In present-day Alkaya, the world is in turmoil. The failing monetary system has caused an escalation of greed and scarcity. The corrupt governments do little to offer the people relief. Repticons have their hidden agent in all aspects of society. Politicians are puppets, and the Repticons are the puppet masters. People of Alkaya are clueless about the Repticons' evil agenda. They created currency to force the people into economic slavery. You have to be a wage slave to survive. The free enterprise system only creates useless competition. People end up chipping off each other to survive instead of uniting and working together. There is a unified quantum field that connects all life forces. This field responds deeply to the power of emotions. Something within us has an effect on the world around us. People give it many names like God, the Matrix, the Source, the Creator, and such. The majority of the population is unaware of its existence. We all have the inner desire for worship and to connect to our oneness. The Repticons capitalize on this knowledge, concealing it from the public. Even though the numbers are relatively small, they use their collective conscience and influence all the Alkaya with the negative vibration of fear and hate. They are vampires that feed upon the population's psychic energy. The weapons they use to enslave the masses are the government, religion, the monetary system, natural disasters, segregation, and the threat of terrorists and war. The Legion of Light and Love is the true religion of Alkaya. The brothers and sisters of Bilal follow the correct interpretation of the Vadi Mecum, which is the equivalent to the Earth's Bible. There are many sects and false religions in Alkaya, just like we have on Earth. There has been much violence and bloodshed because of people forcing their beliefs on other beings. Repticons use religion as a device to brainwash people into subservience. With the promise of heaven being the reward for you when you die, in the agony of hell, the punishment when you refuse to obey the law and the government. They capitalize on citizens' desires to connect to the oneness and intrinsic love they feel for each other. They teach that everyone is a separate entity and you should look out for number one, creating a selfish meism society. Kinetica is a secret assassin skill that eradicates the Repticon threat. Repticons are shapeshifting demons that have infiltrated every form of government and political influence of the Alkayan society. The original Bantam Bumeril Empyro hosts created Kinetica to slightly clean up any Repticons that surfaced from after the Empyros had been retired to the elemental temples. Kinetica had been battling the Repticons for many millenniums. It has been an invisible war. The public is unaware of the agency's existence, just like they're unaware of the Repticons. Since the Repticons have their claws in the government and the media, they cover up any assassinations by Kinetica. Repticons have a hive mind, so they know immediately when one of their kind has fallen. Kinetica is devoted to the research and development of kinesis abilities. The main forms of kinesis are telekinesis objects, geokinesis earth, hydrokinesis water, pyrokinesis fire, aerokinesis air, photokinesis light, lumikinesis shadow, and astrokinesis spiritual energy. Bantam Bumeril was recruited by Kinetica because he was the best marksman with an array of ranged weapons in the whole region. He was also recruited because he was following in his father Bosco's footsteps. Bosco trained Bantam to be a deadly shot. He is known as Bantam the Phantom because he can kill a mark from so far, so fast, his target is dead before they realize it. Bantam is half a virile elf and half wood elf. He was named Bantam, which means small fighter, because he is smaller than normal male elves at about 5'9", with a sinewy physique. He has long, dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. Bantam is the beastmaster and one with nature and all of its creatures. He can speak multiple languages of different animals. It was an ability he was born with and used it wisely to further his advancement in Kinetica. Bantam is a pet panda shifter named Bahoba. Every good hunter has a good pet. Bahoba can turn from beast form to water form to fight form. They're called panders because when properly trained, they can become any animal the master desires. The pander's original shape is like a ferret crossed with a chameleon, with a long neck and longer legs and ears. They have a prehensile tail and a long tongue. They're so flexible you could practically tie their body in a knot. Jaypar Prakkariz, Bantam's elder half-brother. They share the same mother. He is half a Vero elf and half lunar elf, with dark hair and green eyes, light skin and freckles. He's an average male of 6'4" and weighs 200 pounds. He is also an agent of Kinetica, Bantam's partner. Jaypar was trained by Kinetica to shadow jump, which is a form of uberkinesis. He can appear behind an enemy and jump out of their own shadow to do a devastating ambush attack. He does burst damage and slips away into the shadows. Jaypar is a master of stealth. He was gifted with the device of ancient arcane origin, like Kinetica, that can bend the light around himself to make him appear invisible. This ability is a form of photokinesis. Jaypar is deadly with the blade and hand-to-hand melee combat. He prefers to use daggers and short swords. He wears lightweight leather armor, and so he can deliver fast aerial attacks. The Sobers are a division of Kinetica that are the eyes in the sky. They're responsible for surveillance, reconnaissance, and extraction. Jaypar and Bantam's a virile elf mother named Kiva was part of the Soulbirds. They have another half-brother named Balahibo, that is a Soulbird as well. Unlike Jaypar and Bantam, Balahibo was born with wings. Balahibo tormented Jaypar and Bantam for being wingless ones as they were growing up. Jaypar's father, Jaden Prakkariz, the lunar elf, was in Kinetica as a rogue assassin and helped train Jaypar as a boy. Bantam's father, Bosco, the wood elf, was a sniper and a hunter. He trained Bantam as well. Jaden and Bosco were partners in Kinetica's top rogue and hunter team. Bosco and Kiva were married and very much in love. Jaden was always a loyal friend. Bosco told Kiva that if anything were to ever happen to him, he wanted Jaden to take his place. When Balahibo was very young, his father Bosco was captured by Repticons and was presumed to be dead. Jaden and Kiva, after they got over the grief of Bosco's death, finally got together and had Jaypar. Not long after Jaypar's birth, intelligence was received that Bosco was still alive and was being held deep within a Repticon base beneath Mount Shasta. Going against direct orders from Connecticut, Jane went on a suicide mission to rescue Bosco. Jane was overwhelmed with guilt and felt responsible for Bosco's capture. Jane used his superior stealth abilities and was able to rescue Bosco. They barely escaped with their lives. The relationship was slightly flawed after that because Kiba had to make the tough decision between the two of them. Jane was an elf of honor and he stepped down and let Bosco reunite with Kiba. About 3 years after Bosco was rescued, Kiba gave birth to Bantam. Jaypar and Bantam were trained by Connecticut from birth and quickly became the best rogue and hunter team that the agency had ever seen. They surpassed their father's skill. Their mother Kiba was an Empyro elf, has hollow bones for flight. Being born half Empyro without wings, Jaypar and Bantam's bones are semi-hollow, granting them the extra agility to be faster and jump higher. Their mother was always looked down upon by her people for mating with the wingless one. Jaypar and Bantam never fit in with any elf tribe for being half-breeds. The only place they were truly accepted was Connecticut. That was their home. When Jaypar was only 11, his father was captured by Repticons. It was supposed to be a routine mission, an easy assassination of a political figure. But something went horribly wrong. There was a mall in Connecticut. Connecticut agents all have special eye surgery that lets them see past the illusion of the Repticons, so they always see their true form. Repticons devised a new form of toxic venom in their bite that would turn a victim into a brainwashed slave of the Dark Alliance. They were virtually undetectable by normal means. The only difference was that they gave off a dark red, sometimes black aura, and people were gifted with the ability to see. Few people were gifted with the ability to see auras. Connecticut discovered that this after it was too late. Jaden was ambushed, and Bosco could do nothing to stop it. The Repticons took him away, and Connecticut has no knowledge of his whereabouts. They believe Jaden was probably turned and interrogated for information. Bosco was able to recover Jaden's swords and gave them to Jaypar and told him one day he would use the blaze to avenge his father's death. As Jaypar grew older and wiser, he began to resent his stepfather, Bosco. Jaypar felt like Bosco played favorites and gave Balahibo and Bantam all the attention and affection because they were his own flesh and blood. Jaypar believed that Bosco was jealous of Jaden and Kiba's love, so he purposely let his father get captured by the Repticons. Jaypar also believed that his father was still alive, and the Repticons were holding him prisoner. Bosco tried to assure Jaypar that his father was most likely dead because Jaden was a good agent. He would never reveal Connecticut's secrets to the Repticons, so he must have definitely taken his own life for the cyanide capsule. Jaypar didn't believe him and kept the faith that his father was alive. His ultimate mission was one day to stealth into the Repticon dungeon and rescue his father. Connecticut would never approve this mission because they knew it was suicide. They ruled Jaden dead a long time ago. Jaypar was angry with Bosco because his father had asked to risk his life to save Bosco's before. Bosco didn't return the favor. Connecticut conceived this project called Bumeril in order for Jaypar and Bantam to gain access to every A-lister event. They made them electro pop stars. They paired them up with an international superstar named Dazzle, who is a high elf keyboardist. She plays guitar, Jaypar plays drums, and Bantam plays guitar. Bumeril became the overnight sensation and rocketed Jaypar and Bantam into superstardom. They made them virtually untouchable by the Repticons because if they killed them, there would be a public outcry and an investigation into their murders by the real government. If they lived in that anonymity, no one would know if they died, no one would miss them. They were able to travel the world and thin out the ranks of the Repticons wherever they were. Their music delivered a positive message to all the people. Young and old, of the Alkaya, and uplifted their spirits and made them dance. Dancing is good for the soul and has healing properties. Thank you.